Hey guys, all right, I think I am live. I'm live in both places. I'm getting so much better at this, right? So I'm hopping on today again because I got on makeup, right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When Akila has on makeup, Akila's probably gonna hop on live. Just know that's gonna happen, right? Because I don't get all made up to go live. I instead go live when I get made up. Right? Take advantage of opportunities, which is a lot about what we're gonna talk about a little bit like today, taking advantage of opportunities. Gotta get some water because my throat has been doing like things, right? Not great things. So first of all, let me tell you guys, I just had an amazing morning. It's already like 2 o'clock, right? I just had an amazing morning. I got to do something that I have been wanting to do, and like one of my like goal list things. And it's not like what what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, what's something huge and big. Well, I mean, to me it's huge and big, but one of the things, especially when I wrote my book, you guys know I wrote my book, right? I'm an author, right? When I wrote this book, one of the things and one of my goals in life is not just to help empower entrepreneurs and women and Black women and all the things, right? But really to also help inspire youth, and not like young youth, but like teenage youth. I feel like we don't spend enough time with teenage youth, right? Or like in college youth. I'm going to change this camera a little bit, right? In college youth. And people like that. People they're working on it right now. Like, thank you. But one of my big things was to inspire and help like youth and young people get into like technology, get into SEO and business and all the things, right? And so when I wrote the book, if you guys haven't seen the book, right, the book is dope. You should definitely head on over to Amazon and get one. um, but in the book, if you read my book or see my book, I'm gonna show you guys both on both cameras, right? Hey Patrice, and there's like exercises and stuff like that. But in the book, and this is not all about the book, but in the book, I wrote the book so it could be used in a classroom. Like that was my thinking. Like I knew I was going to use it to teach because I do, but I also wanted like somebody could, I'm teaching web design class in a high school or a college, and we're going to teach the SEO portion. Go get this book, right? So I also wrote the book a little bit thinking of it being used in schools and in my back of my mind. And it's one of those things that I've kind of had on my bucket list of, donating books to schools and, maybe been doing some training sessions and stuff like that. And so today was a really exciting day, not just about the book, but today, one of my sorors was, being a sorority is amazing, guys. If you guys aren't in a sorority, it's amazing, right? But one of my sorors works for one of the colleges that are too, and funny enough, in my hometown, Patterson, right? She works for the community college that's in Patterson. She was looking for someone in STEM, and she needed them, to be on a panel talking about things. And so I told her, hey, I'm in STEM, and I can come talk on a panel. She really wanted to talk about my software company, which we're going to talk about that a little bit too. She really wanted to talk about my software company. And then she's like, well, it's for a group of, high school, college students and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, bucket list, right? Granted, I didn't get to bring my book with me, but bucket list. So I'm very excited. And I know I do a lot of speaking. A lot of people invite me to speak. And thank you for those who invite me to speak. Invite me for those who need me to speak, right? I do a lot of speaking, and I always love to speak to different groups of people. But speaking to the youth, right? And when I say youth, I'm like under 25, right? Not even like the kitty kids, right? But the people who I know are right now going through making the decisions of what to do with their life and looking at opportunities and looking at things and stuff like that has always been like one of my passions. And so today to sit on that panel, and I'm like praying she brings me back, right? For something else, anything else, who she's probably gonna watch this. So yes, you can bring me back. But sitting on that panel was really, really exciting. Like one of those, well, 25 is a grown woman or man, but it's also that stage of trying to decide some people got it in the bag. Cool. I know when I was 25, I did not have it in the bag, right? And actually, like when I was 25, I was just finishing up my master's degree. And while I was further along, and I had a full-time job and all of that, again, I did not have my life together. If I knew then what I know now, I would be like a millionaire, right? Probably not a billionaire, which we're going to talk about Rihanna's billions. We are going to get to that, I promise, right? but I would be so much further along if I talked to someone like me or something like that. So, like I said, I'm not saying nothing about anybody's age. I just know age and stage. I want to talk to people who are in that I'm trying to figure out what to do, things life, like part of life, whatever. And not like I'm shifting my whole business or anything, but that's just one of my, like I said, bucket list. I want to help encourage people. Bucket list. So today, if I had a well, see, I had mentors, right? I was in a mentoring program, and funny enough, so whole other story. I don't like mentors but so much. And one of the reasons why is because in high school, I was in one of those, like, smart kid programs. There's not a lot of smart kid programs, smart kid, right? I was in one of those programs and I had a mentor. And some of you guys who know me personally know that I don't eat red meat and pork, right? So I don't eat red meat and pork. I have not eaten red meat and pork since I was in high school. When I was in high school, I actually was a full vegetarian. I started eating chicken again when I went to college because I was hungry. That's a whole nother story, right? But I had this mentor. I had this mentor who took me out to dinner with her family. She was nice. I'm not even gonna lie. She was nice. She took me out to dinner with her family, and we went to a damn steakhouse. Y'all, I did not eat red meat, pork, chicken. I didn't eat meat. And they took me to a steakhouse. I felt so not even disrespected, but so like not even considered that she took me to a damn steakhouse. Right? And so, needless to say, and I'm not a big salad eater. I like vegetables, but I'm not a big eat the salad kind of girl. Um, but so I like hot food. I want my vegetables cooked, and there's not so many cooked vegetables you're getting at a steakhouse. Right. And I was a teenager, like, attitude, teenagers got the attitudes. So all the things, I'm not really into that having a mentor type of thing. But yes, and the mentors didn't look like I do right now. Like they weren't entrepreneurs. They had good jobs, but like a lot of people were teachers and nurses, and no shade to teachers and nurses, but they weren't doing the things, especially in technology, that I'm doing right now. And so yeah, I would have had a mentor. I don't even know if that would have helped me. So I want to be the help for somebody else. And so today was bucket list day. Not bucket list day, but today I got to do something that I was very, very excited about. Hence the makeup. Right. And so mentors in my young adulthood. I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna say I want to be there to be the person to talk to some people. And I had a lot of great people around me. Like even when I started work and stuff like that, I was fortunate enough to get a really good job in IT. Like as soon as I came out, which these are things I was talking about today in the panel. But literally, I started as an intern. My first job was at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in the city, and I interned there the whole year, my senior year, before graduating, and went right into it. Like I mean, literally, it was divine. Like God said, here's your lineup, and he took me right down the path, right? And so that's how I got there. But we're not here to talk about my whole story. We will talk about my story another day. I think we need to share that, right? But today was a good day because I did this panel. Super excited about it. And one of the things was kind of led to this topic, and then I saw something else that was talking about this. But one of the things that I noticed on the panel, or like we talked about, is it was a bunch of STEM professionals, and I love when I'm not the smartest person in the room, and I felt like I was down here. I mean, folks were doctors and startups and like amazingness, right? So, but one of the things, and in that amazingness and in all of our stories, was a pivot moment, like when we got into this or when we decided to do this, right? And then I saw the post about Rihanna, and I'd seen the post going around. Who's not heard that Rihanna's a billionaire now, right? So she's like, I think like the second female billionaire and one of the few musical, like musician or entertainment, they're calling it entertainment billionaires. I think she's only second to now Oprah. So Rihanna's a billionaire. Boom. Right. If you did not know, you know now. Forbes got the article. And I actually went and read the article. I like to read the details because, the headlines, I like to read the details, right? So I read the details of her billionaire status, right? One of the things I noticed, and one of the things I noticed when people are sharing it or talking about it is, and I'm going back and forth with my eyes just so you guys know, because I'm on IG and on Facebook. You guys know how I do, right? But one of the things I noticed when people talk about her billionaire status is They keep talking about, she's a musician or entertainer making $1 billion and blah, blah. Then in the second sentence, they'll say she hasn't released an album since 2016. But she made $1 billion entertainment. And I'm like, let's get real about this, right? If you read the whole article, she made $1 billion from Fenty, right? From Fenty makeup. And then Fenty Savage, which is the lingerie line, right? Which are one and the same, but not the same company. I learned that from Forbes too, right? I should drop the, can I post a comment? Will it let me? Let's see. All right. I can't drop one for you guys on IG, but I can drop one for you guys over here on Facebook. Yeah. So you guys, all right, cool. Look like it let me drop the thing, or is that going on YouTube? Whoever's getting it. So somebody's gonna get that link, and I'll put it in my chats, other places, right? But so one of the things they were talking about, oh, man, I'm hitting stuff. I'm hitting things on my computer. Sorry, guys. One of the things they're talking about, is how she came up with how they got to this $1 billion, right? So they count your assets and what they think you're making, the value of the company, which they did split the value because she only owns 50% of Fenty and I think 30% of Fenty Savage, the lingerie company. So one thing I was happy to see was that they weren't just saying it's a $1 billion company, so she's a billionaire. They actually said she owns 50%. I think it's a 2-point-something billion dollar company. And so that gives her $1 billion. So that's how you should be looking at numbers. That's a whole nother story, right? I like to look at the details behind these things. Don't just go with the headlines. But so they're talking about that, and they talk about, again, how her money made up and stuff like that. And one of the things that's really clear is that her money is no longer coming from music. She's getting money from music, because be clear, she still gets royalties. She probably still does some appearances, but she has not made an album since 2016. She's not. And I think, and this is where I'm getting to with your glow up may not be where you are. I think we need to stop calling her a musician. Not that she was not a previous musician or former musician, but her money is coming because she's a businesswoman. Like, she's a business, right? And so it's her business that she's been doing since 2017 that is getting her to the $1 billion. And so how that kind of plays all back to us who are listening and watching and here talking to me, hey guys, right? How this all leads back to us is that I see that a lot I see two things happening. I see one, people afraid to pivot because people feel like if they pivot or if they do something different, that they're somehow like cheating on what they used to do. And I've had this when I went from online boutique stores to Girl Get Visible. I'm having a tiny bit of it now, or probably it's going to grow. I know me, right? As I go from Girl Get, and I'm not, well, I don't think I'm moving, but as I grow my SEO writer, my software company, and even the talk that I did today, she really wanted to talk about me owning a software company. Yeah, Girl Get Visible was nice and cute and yay, but she really wanted to talk about the software part because we're talking about STEM careers, right? How did they come up with a software company? So one of the things I see is that people are afraid to pivot because they feel like they feel like almost like they're cheating on the other thing, right? Or cheating on their other passions. Or I hear this a lot. People know me. People know you for what you put out there, what you do. They don't know that you could be doing something else, right? They don't know that you might have another passion or another skill or gone and got another degree. Like, they don't know those things. And so when people are like, well, people know me for, or even when I like somebody the other day, because I was talking about starting a podcast, folks are like, okay, I want to start a podcast. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, people know me to talk about this, or people normally I talk about these things. And it's like, you can switch. And sometimes that switch is what's going to make you the $1 billion or even the $1 million, right? But one thing we get so stuck on, this is what I'm at now, that we refuse to let ourselves pivot. We refuse to sometimes even entertain the thought of pivoting. And then on the other side, so that's one thing. One, we hold ourselves back a little bit because we don't want to change and kind of cheat with this new thing, right? So imagine if Rihanna had never said, I'm going to give this makeup thing a try. Because although she has amazing skin, right? people didn't know her as a makeup company, right? So she could have been like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to do that because people expect me to drop an album. She would not be a billionaire today. Like literally, Fenty was started in 2017. It is 2021. So we're talking about 4 years. 4 years. And the way they talk about, and it's a $2 billion company, right? She owns the $1 billion part of it, half of it, right? But it's a $2 billion company. So, and they, in that article, that Forbes article I was just talking about, they talk about, how much it made the first year and the next year and stuff like that. But if she had never made those changes, right? The other thing is, from a consumer standpoint, we have to let people pivot. Stop judging people. And I see these memes all the time, so I'm going to just say it out loud. Stop judging people based on who they were. Look at what they have going on right now. Because you could be missing out on some good stuff. How many times are we like when Taraji P. Henson came out with her hair care line? She got lots of jokes. Actually, I don't really like her hair care line, but I do like pattern. Tracee Ellis Ross definitely got jokes. And now she's like getting whole, black hair. She's up for black hair care, blah, 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 right? And people even judge that too, right? And people do it all the time. Imagine if we never let Will Smith act and we kept him in that box of being a rapper from Philly. Imagine. Because Will Smith is good, but he's not. I'm just going to say it, right? It's funny because I listen to Drink Champs podcast. If you guys don't listen to Drink Champs, it's dope. And they just had Beanie on, and we were talking, my husband and I, Beanie Siegel. We were listening to it together. That's what we do, right? Our date night, sitting in the yard, listening to it on the speaker, right? And not the same rapper from Philly, right? I'm just gonna say that out loud. And he is. Somebody said in the Facebook chat, he's a much better actor. He's an amazing actor. He was an aight rapper. He got some hits, but do we like the hits because he was rapping on them or because the beat was good? That means his producer was good, not him, right? But this is not a drag Will Smith. This is understand that if people don't make these changes and these pivots in life, we could be losing out on a lot of potential. And when I say people, we are people. We as business owners, we as entrepreneurs, we as execs, we as teachers, we are those people. And so many people get stuck into, I can't make this change because they don't want to feel like I'm cheating on this other thing. I'm not doing this other thing. Or stuck on what people expect me to do or people want me to do, that they never even try out the other thing. Right? People have asked me, which I plan on doing some like reels or something. I'm going to do something about this, right? Why am I starting a software company? Right? Aren't I just a coach or just an SEO service? Even that, people don't get that. Yes, I'm an SEO service provider, but I don't only do services. Right? And nowadays, I don't mainly do services. We don't have any services open right now. It is really the training and the coaching. Right? And I've taken off some time from that, not time off because I got a membership, but some challenges are not happening because I'm focusing on the software. Like we've got to let ourselves do these pivots, try these pivots, be okay with these pivots, because that pivot could be your $1 million, $1 billion thing. I've got 2 members, and I'm not going to shout them out, but we have, so in my membership, my members know this, right? But in my membership, we have something called Work Club After Dark, right? So the membership's name is the Work Club, my SEO Work Club, right? Hey, Tanya, how you doing? And in the work club, we have our regular work club meetings, and they go an hour to do coaching and all the official stuff, right? And then we just start chatting, right? And I take off I'm the coach hat, and I'm the, hey, we chilling hat, right? Because we do this, and we call it Work Club After Dark, right? And so one day, just recently, or a couple of weeks ago, we were doing Work Club After Dark, where we were just chatting. Worked up. So is that Brittany? Brittany, is that you? Because I only said Facebook user, but it goes for hours, y'all. But it means like it's talking to your friends, biz friends, and we're the masterminding. That's not like the mastermind happens. Like, so get you an After Dark crew for real. But one of the things that came up was two of my members who are very prophetic, right? So I absolutely listen to what they are saying, right? Two of them were like, yeah, this is good what you're doing, but there's something more for you. And I had to sit with that, right? Again, I definitely trust, believe, know, and I know they know, right? And so they were both like, there's more for you. And in my mind, I was like, but I love what I'm doing. Like, I like this group. I like, I like helping my people. I like all the things. And they were like, there's more. And so I've been sitting with that, right? So there's more, right? I feel like there's something else coming, but there's more, right? But I say all that to say is that for a lot of us, right? And you don't got to wait for an after dark to hear this. A lot of us, there is something more. And if we stay stuck on where we are and don't even, I'm not saying drop the other thing, because I know people who do that too. Like, oh, I'm not doing that business anymore. I'm now doing this business. Try to do a little bit of both, right? Try to ease into it, right? But at the very least, give yourself a try, right? Rihanna didn't stop singing or stop performing. She just stopped making albums. So she's still an artist, right? But she's now more of a businesswoman artist, right? So, but give yourself a try to do that other thing. Give yourself a try and give yourself like some deep thought. I also was listening to some podcast episodes today. I'll put those in the links too, where they were talking about, I think I shared one of the ones I shared with you, Brittany. Did I share the other one? Yes, the one with the the one with the new assessment for us to take, right? But I put this in the thing. Yes. Sareen says she was talking about us. Yes. Absolutely. She's always telling me the next thing. She's always 2 years ahead of me in my own life, for real. But I'll put the episode in there. But they were also talking about, we pick some people, we pick, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. We pick what we do based on our skills, but it may not be where we are really in our flow. And real talk, it may not be where our money flow is. And it was a really good and important conversation, because it's like, just because you got a skill at something, you could be good. You could be making money. Like, you could be making, Rihanna was a good artist, right? Or is a good artist. Stop acting like she's never going to sing again, right? She made good songs. She made good albums. She danced pretty decent. Like, she got some hits. She got some bangers. She's great. But Fenty is what made her $1 billion. Right? And if you follow her like on Instagram and stuff, Fenty money is what then brought her mama a house. She bought her mama a house not too long ago, probably like a year or two ago now, right? So she's great at all these things and successful at all these things, and her skills are amazing. And I'm not gonna say her skills help open the door for Fenty, because if it was just regular Rihanna, we ain't even know her. We probably not have ever tried the makeup. But once we did, we knew it was banging, right? And so she was able to do the next thing and the next thing and the next product, and now the lingerie line, because we was like, okay, we trust her now in the business realm, right? So I wanted to hop on to talk about that, because like I said, you guys know me, when things start lining up, I got to share them with you guys. And going through some of it myself. I've been through it when I went from, for those who know me, know that I did online boutique stores was hard. That was a hard pivot, right? I wrote a whole book before I was ready to even launch a new site, right? So that was a hard pivot. Now with the software company, especially since they're so much more aligned, right? Where the software helps people who are learning SEO. So it's kind of a little bit aligned. But real talk, I've been in IT since I was in college. Like, me owning a software company makes sense. Now that I'm saying it out loud to you guys. And so, to try that out, to go in that flow, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. That's probably another conversation we need to have about growth being uncomfortable, right? Growth is going to be uncomfortable. My 6-year-old's growing. If you guys have ever seen him, he's tall. If girls on my page, go look, you'll see him. He's tall. He's he's not tall, but he's going to be tall. My husband's 6'4", so it's in the genes, just not in my genes. But my husband's 6'4". He's, I don't know how tall, but he comes up to here on me. I'm 5'1", so he comes up to here on me. And he recently, because summer kids grow over the summer, right? And I didn't know this like this, okay, guys. I know you guys are like, Killer, you should have known that, but It's my first and only kid, right? So he was at the beginning of the summer, aka a month ago, wearing his size 5 shirts, and they were cool. This week, he put on those size 5 shirts, and I had to send him back to get a size 6 shirt, because they was all looking like, in the body part, because he's not that wide, right? He's just tall, but in the body part, it looked okay, but right here, right by the belly, when the pants didn't meet the shirt, it was not a good look. So I had to send him back. And, when we talk about growth, we always think about growth as an adult. Like, I've been wearing the same size for a long time. Think about your business as what it is. Really, it is in those infant stages. You've been in business 1 year, 2 years. I mean, my kid is 6. You've been in business 6 years. There's still some growth spurts happening, right? And so they may not, and he wasn't even uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable looking at him in that short shirt. So he had to go get changed. He was like, what? My shirt's fine. Right? They didn't even see the discomfort. But I was definitely like, go get changed. I'm not sending you to cast. That's now a weekend shirt, right? You can belly shirt on the weekends around the house. You cannot belly shirt the summer camp, right? What your mom used to say, like, having people thinking, I don't know how to properly dress you. Yes, we wasn't doing that, right? But I say, not for my kid. Nope. No, belly shirts are not all the rage for my kid. At least not going to summer camp. He can do that on the weekend. But again, he wasn't even uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable watching it. But I know it's his growth. I mean, eventually he'll get uncomfortable. But now we got to get new clothes. Now we got to do new things. Think of your business the same way. Because a lot of our businesses aren't much older than my kid. They just aren't. Right? And so you would think there's going to be some ebbs and some flows and some things. We get into something and we think this is it. The people think this is it. The people know me for this. And now you got to go out there and be known for something else or do something else. And I'm going to say, just start doing it. Let people catch up to you. Don't be waiting for them to know you before you start doing your thing, right? Let them catch up to what you're already doing. Let you be light years ahead. And somebody be like, oh, I didn't know you was like running a whole software company. Yes, by the way, I am. Someone said to me the other day, like, oh, you got this, like, is it up? And I'm like, yeah, it's up, it's running. You can go sign up and be part of it. Right? Let them catch up to you. And not in a shady way, like not in the, they trying to keep you down, because that's a whole other story, right? But some people just won't be there. Some people won't be paying attention. Some people will turn around and you will be on to your $1 billion thing. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to just jump on and share these thoughts, A, because they were all coming to me, and B, because I'm wearing makeup, y'all. Y'all know makeup, go live, right? I don't get made up to go live. Instead, I go live when I'm made up, right? So I wanted to hop on and talk about that, because I know a lot of us are not at our $1 billion thing, right? So I just said, oh, Consuela, hey, Consuela, how you doing? Just started something new this past Sunday, and I feel like I'm the only person watching. You are not the only person watching, and starting something new. You gotta tell me what you're doing, right? But starting something new, allow yourself to start those new things. Allow yourself to try those new things, right? Only thing that's going to hold you back is you, right? Only thing. You'll say, oh, it's the time or the money or the people aren't there and all that other type of stuff. I was in another group and they're saying, oh, do you start a new page, or do you just change and keep the page that you have? And I was like, keep the page that you have. They're going to see the new you, right? Who was it who had, somebody just recently had plastic surgery and just gave us a whole new face. They didn't care what we thought, right? You're going to get this new face, right? So think about the same thing with your business. They're going to get this new business, and those who love it will stay. Those who don't love it will go. And it's okay. It's perfectly okay, because you need the stayers, and you need to bring in the more people, and you need to move in your own flow. So that is my message for today. Go in your flow. I am definitely going to drop the link to the podcast episode. It was on the, it's Jacqueline Malone's podcast. I think it's The Go-To Girl. I gotta remember the name of it, right? Right? I gotta remember the name of it, but I will drop the links for you guys, because I think you should listen to that too. I'm here, redacted, because wait, I need to know what the redaction was. This is what the after dark turns into. Me reading comments like, wait, what's going on? And we be on Zoom, so we just talking. But either way, I wanted to drop that message for you guys. Hopefully this helps. Let me know. It sounds like it already does in the comments. Let's continue to talk about this, and let's continue to grow our glow, whichever direction your glow goes. All right? Bye, guys.